The essential question for this lesson is, how do I solve multi-step equations? To solve multi-step equations, we use a mnemonic device, "Don't call me after midnight." It helps us remember the steps we need to use to solve a multi-step equation. The D in don't stands for distribute. The C in call stands for combine like terms. The M in me is move variable constant. The A in after is add subtract. And the M in midnight is multiply divide. Okay, the first step is to distribute. To distribute, you multiply the outside term with all terms in parentheses. Okay, we're going to do these three examples together. I need to multiply 7 times x and 7 times 3, giving me 7x minus 21. Multiply -4 times m and times 2, giving me -4m minus 8. Multiply 1/2 times 6k and times 18, which gives me 3k plus 9. Okay, the next step is to combine like terms. To combine like terms, we add or subtract like terms on each side of the equation. All right, so we have these two examples. So first of all, this is one side of my equation, and I know that this is the other. So I'm only going to look on one side at a time. On this side, I see that 2x and -4x are like terms. And when I put them together, I get -2x. 5 and 3 are also like terms, which put together gives me 8. On this side, x does not have a like term, but 1 and -8 are. Put together, I get -7. Next one, 4a minus a is 3a. -7 minus 2 is -9. 3a minus 5a is -2a. Next steps, move variable constant, add or subtract, multiply or divide. So identify the variable and add or subtract to move it so that the variable is on one side of the equation. Then add or subtract to move the constant to the other side of the equation. Finally, multiply or divide to solve for the variable. Okay, we have two examples to do. On this side of my equation, I have my variable, and on this side, I want to add or subtract to move it to one side. So I'm going to subtract 2t, and I get 2t minus 1 equals 7. Okay, so now that my variable's on one side, I need to add or subtract to move my constant to the other. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And I get 2t equals 8. Okay, now we're going to multiply or divide to solve for the variable. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and t equals 4. Next example. 1/2 x, x. I want it on one side. So I'm going to subtract 1/2 x from both sides, which gives me 3 equals 1/2 x plus 6. Okay, my variable's on one side, I need to move my constant to the other. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And now multiply or divide. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. And that gives me -6 equals x. Okay, on the next page, we're going to put it all together now. Don't call me after midnight. So the first thing that I do is make a checklist down the side of my problem. Don't call me after midnight. Okay, so the first step is to distribute, and I see distribute right here. -8 times p and -8 times 2. Okay, now I'm going to combine like terms. So over here, I have -8p plus p, which is -7p. And on this side, I have 12 and 5 that can be combined. Okay, I've combined like terms, and now I'm on move the variable. So I'm going to move this over here. Now that my variable's on one side, I need to move my constant to the other. Okay, I now have my variable on one side and my constant on the other. And the last step is to multiply or divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 11. And I get -3 equals p. Okay, before I determine that that is the actual answer, I'm going to check my work. In order to check it, I'm going to substitute my answer, -3, for the variable p in the original equation. Okay, so -3 plus 2 is -1. So -8 times -1 is 8. And 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, let's look at this side. 4 times -3 is -12. -12 and 12 cancel out, and I'm left with 5. 5 does equal 5, so that means that -3 equals p. Number 2. Don't call me after midnight. Distribute on both sides. 10x minus 15 equals 3x minus 57. Okay, I'm done distributing. Now I'm going to combine like terms. These cannot be combined and these cannot be combined. So I move into the next step, which is to move the variable. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So that I get my variable on one side of the equation. Now I need to move my constant to the other. Okay, variable on one side, constant on the other, down to the last step, which is to multiply or divide. I'm going to divide both sides by 7, then x equals -6. Now it's time to check. I'm going to substitute -6 in my original equation. Two times -6 is -12. -12 minus 3 is -15. 5 times -15 is -75. Okay, let's look at this side. -6 minus 19 is -25. And 3 times -25 is -75. So it does check. X equals -6. Number 3, don't call me after midnight. Distribute. Combine like terms. Move the variable. Move the constant. Multiply or divide. And check. Two times 0 is 0. 0 minus 9 is -9, which gives me -36. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 7 is -7. 5 times -7 is -35. Minus 1 is -36. They are equal, so 0 equals H. Number 4. Checklist. Distribute. Combine. Move variable. Move constant. Multiply, divide. And check. M equals 11. Okay, I want you to pause the video and do numbers 5 and 6 on your own. When you are done with those two problems, then resume the video and we will check your answers. Pause the video now. Okay, so you have had time to do numbers 5 and 6. So we're going to go through them step by step, starting with Don't Call Me After Midnight. So you should have distributed first to get 6a plus 10. Next is combine like terms. Move variable. Move constant. Variables on one side, constants on the other. Last step is to multiply or divide. Divide both sides by 4. A equals 11. Now we'll check. Three times 11 is 33. And 33 plus 5 is 38. 2 times 11 is 22. And 22 plus 54 is 76. 2 times 38 is 76, which equals 76. So A is 11. Number 6, don't call me after midnight. Needed to multiply here and here. Now, since there's nothing there, it's given that it's a 1. So 8 minus 2c minus 7. Next is combine like terms. Combine 8 and negative 7 to get 1. Move our variable. So I'm going to move this over here. 1 equals 3c plus 40. Move my constant to the other. And last step, divide both sides by 3. Okay, last step is to check. Substitute. 2 times negative 13 is negative 26. Negative 26 plus 7 is negative 19. 8 plus 19 is 27. Negative 13 plus 40 is 27. Since they are equal, negative 13 equals C. So that is how we solve multi-step equations. We use the mnemonic, don't call me after midnight.